Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Hope you're all having a great start to your Sunday. Hope your weekend's going fantastic. LSU was out on the practice field for day 2 of fall camp on Saturday. No Cordell
With
Flott.
MailChimp's marketing smarts, you get a whole lot of creative smarts, recommendation smarts, and cut.
Whoops. No Cordell Flott out there. No John Emery. Advocate reported that John Emery was taking an exam, so that's why he was unavailable for practice yesterday. Let's hope that's all it was. I believe that's all it was. Getting through this final summer session and happens. The interesting thing though is, I've talked a lot about two positions in particular that I think are critical for LSU, and it's linebacker and safety. And really, you need Mike Jones and you need Major Burns, or two transfers, to come in and be impact guys right away. And I hope they will be. I think they can be. But it was interesting. Sage Ryan yesterday was working with the nickel safeties, so that's sort of Flott's role. Like, who your boundary corners are. I mean, you got Stingley and Ricks out there. But most defenses don't play with three linebackers on the field, because of the spread. You typically have 5 defensive backs. So you take a linebacker off the field, you add a defensive back. That's a nickel. I think most people understand that. So in that nickel safety role, Cordell Flott was playing that, and with Flott not there, Sage Ryan played it. So they're throwing him in the deep end pretty quickly here, and I'm glad to see that. And that's a different role than being either a free or strong safety, obviously, being a nickelback. But that's kind of the role that apparently they've carved out in this defense with Durante's defense is the nickel safety role. So that's really interesting, because like we talked about, if you were looking at safety in particular, every player there had a question. Is Todd Harris healthy? Has Jordan Tolles improved? Can Jay Ward make the switch from corner to safety? Is is Major Burns ready to be a starter in the SEC, which he wasn't at Georgia. He was sort of a role player last year. Can Sage Ryan or the freshmen play as freshmen? So you had a question about everybody. Like, you don't have a question about Derek Stingley. You don't have a question about Elias Ricks. You don't have a question about what Glenn Logan and Neil Farrell are. I mean, those are senior players that have been around a long time. You know what I mean? Like, what they are. You got a lot of questions at safety, but so far it seems like they got some pretty good answers there. Oh, and LSU's receivers are really good. Megan Hurst, good morning. Jason Aguilar, Tony Williams, good morning. Steve Scott, morning, Matt. Thinking Sunday fun day with Sazerac Rye and pool time. Why? Just because, man, have a great Sunday. I hear you, man. We'll probably be in the pool a bit today. Put Drew in the pool almost every day. I mean, it's honestly the greatest blessing of having a pool is for Drew, because for him it's like, it's not only playtime, but it's also therapy and strength and all that sort of stuff. And he's officially swimming now this summer without, like, he doesn't need his puddle jumper anymore. So yeah, man. Jason, sad day for college football. Bobby Bowden died, 91 years old. I saw that. I don't know if it was last night or this morning. I just saw the headline. Also, so Terry Bowden, his son, who's the coach at ULM, left his team to go be with Bobby. So I think they obviously knew that it was imminent. I think he was on hospice care, but definitely a legend, man. One of the greatest the game ever saw. So condolences certainly to his family. Brandon English, good morning. Sean White, good morning. Charlie Gale, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. Reagan Lee. Gonna preach here in about an hour and a half. For now, listen to Morning Scone. Very cool, Reagan. Appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, you're in. I just look see where you were preaching. So you're in in DeSoto, huh? That's out by Dallas, right? Well, get those souls pointed in the right direction toward heaven today, Reagan. Julie, Michelle, McKee, where did you get your info? Oh, that's to Jason. Where did he get his info about Bobby Bowden dying? I mean, it's I mean, Florida State's tweeted it. It's out. I mean, it's public now. Kelly Gross, good morning. Jesse McGraw, I'm Matt. With the investigation going on, is it something where they could fire Ed at any time? I mean, the short answer to your question is yes. And there are board members that want to do that immediately. They obviously don't have enough votes to support to do that right now. But, the thing to keep in mind is that if just to answer your question, when more came out, it would likely be something where they looked at a for cause reasoning, which would essentially negate the buyout. So, Jason Truax, good morning. Brian Wynn, good morning. Brown Bear 765, morning Scone. Glad to report the final Olympic medal count has the U.S. with the most overall, and indoor volleyball got the U.S. its last gold, putting them one gold ahead of China. I did see that they won the gold medal count as well. I did not see which one it was. So they had some track success, and of course women's basketball. Congrats to Sylvia Fowles, got her 4th Olympic gold medal. But good to see that indoor volleyball got it as well. So Fines will be pumped up on Tuesday, no doubt. Trivia Carter, good morning. Merrick Mathern, good morning. Like button smash. That's right. Thank you for the 38 of you watching there on YouTube. If you would, smash the like button. Smash it. Smash that like button. And subscribe to the Matt Moscona channel if you haven't done so yet. Thank you. Let's see, what else y'all got today? Saints are still out on the practice field, going through training camp. You'll have your first full weekend of preseason games starting on Thursday of this week. Saints will play in Baltimore on Saturday. Really excited, man. Alan Faneca got inducted into the Hall of Fame last night, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame last night. So really cool, man. What a great time. What a great time for sports here as we gear up through August to get ready for what we hope is a really fun football season, man. Really fun. Let's see. Julie, that's what I thought. Another live, but another one of your viewers. Now, Julie, the Bobby Bowden stuff is like it's confirmed. I mean, it's being reported. Like the family, Flores, they've all confirmed it. Like Bobby Bowden died. He was 91. Tony Williams, I hear Derek Davis is an animal. How much playing time will he see at safety? So to answer your question shortly, how much playing time will he see? I don't know. I mean, we'll obviously have to wait and see how all of that plays out. The freshman who seems to be, and you got to keep in mind also, when media is allowed there, we're allowed for like 20 minutes during the individual period at the beginning. You don't get to watch the team portion, which is why I've recruited Zach Von Rosenberg to be our fall camp reporter. So he'll be with us at 5 o'clock whenever there's practice, and to give us reports. I can ask him maybe some more specific questions like that, since he's actually going to be able to see more than we would. Kerry Hughes, good morning. Preaching with that dead Soxy this morning, hashtag no slippage. There you go, man. Keep pointing those soles in the right direction, keeping those socks up high. Remember, if you go to deadsoxy.com and you use the code MATT, my name, Matt, they will give you a 30% discount at deadsoxy.com. Good dudes. They got some really fun SKUs coming out for this football season. The new LSU ones are really, really good. B. Bennett Bass, good morning. Paul Batts, good morning from Houston. Supposed to be 98 here. On the concrete, it'll feel like 118. Yeah, that's brutal. I don't know what the temperature is here today, but I think it was 98 yesterday. I don't know what the heat index is though. Hey Rocco, what's up, man? Hope all is well with you. God bless Bobby Bowden, who's a role model for Christian athletes. He was that indeed. Richie Bird Morning's going to just finish a 16-mile bike ride. I need to do that, man. I need to get it. Well, probably not like, I'm not going to get like a street bike or anything like that, but I might look into a Peloton. Anybody have a Peloton? Worth it? I don't want to spend the money on it and then use it for a month and never use it again. Rocco, got any triple X size hats to fit my dome? No, man, they're one size fits all. The Hudco hats are one size fits all. They're snapback. But I think this will fit you pretty well. Fits my head. Reagan Lee. DeSoto County in Mississippi. Preaching Jonesboro, Arkansas, just down the road from the Red Wolf Stadium. There you go, man. Jonesboro, Arkansas. Tony Williams, it's about time. Allen got inducted. He had a great career. He did. Just similar to when Kevin Mawai went in. A lot of those guys just got to wait their turn, man. It's especially when you're at a position like offensive line where there are so many players at that position, right? You end up having a logjam of guys waiting to get in. Same thing with receiver. Like, Calvin Johnson was going to be a first ballot guy, no doubt. And he got in. But, Marvin Harrison had to wait. I mean, Hall of Fame receivers have to wait because it's that era, because they only induct a handful of guys each year. And so you have this log jam at these positions. I hate it because my contention has always been either you're a Hall of Famer or you're not a Hall of Famer. It's not, well, you didn't make it on this ballot, but you get it in on your fourth or fifth. Like, no. You're either a Hall of Famer or you're not a Hall of Famer. And it shouldn't matter how many years you have to wait, or like either you are or you aren't. It's binary. Or as Terry would say, it's digital. So, anyway. But yes, I'm glad Faneca got in. That felt inevitable, but glad until it happens, you always wonder. So I'm glad it finally did happen for him. Bentley Spears, Whiskey and Wine this year. Yes, it will be me and Rohan Davey, and we will again be at Don Juan Cigar Bar. So very much looking forward to that, and actually having people there this time for the whole season, and hopefully an even better production the second year that we're there. And I know it'll be a bummer not having Jordy, but we'll roll on, man. Danny Braywick, I'm surprised Zach Von Rosenberg isn't on a roster. So I tell you, Zach is still punting every day and, waiting on a call if it comes. But the thing you got to keep in mind is Zach just turned 30. And, typically by that, like if you're an NFL team and you have two rookies, do you want the 30-year-old or the 22-year-old? That are what and what? Well, typically you're going to go with the 22-year-old because you have a longer, that he'll have a longer shelf life, longer career. That's the tough part about being 30, Shelby Kelly, is Whitworth a Hall of Famer? I'm going to say no. And the thing that might get him there is longevity, because we did this. I actually did this segment on air a while back. Like I compared Whitworth, his career, different things. But the thing with offensive linemen that's tough is typically the only metric you can really look at is obviously longevity, but then also like all pro teams and Pro Bowls and stuff. And, you know, he was first team all pro twice, and he's been to he's been to 4 Pro Bowls. So, hang on one second. Sorry, y'all. Drew's backpack was beeping. So we shot at the Brock Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. After Hours Clinic open today. Of course, they're on Blue Bonnet inside the Surgical Specialty Center. And Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You know, when your senior quarterback falls and breaks his arm, and needs to have surgery on that arm, where do you think they take him? And Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. So anyway, so the thing with Whitworth is, because you don't really have stats for linemen, you tend to look at things like how many times was he an All-Pro? Well, when you play in an era, you know, your career starts and you've got dudes like Hutchinson and you know, Jonathan Ogden, and I guess Ogden was finishing up when Whitworth came into the league. But you know what I mean? There's like, when you have these guys that are like legendary first ballot Hall of Famers, and you know, you come in, like, it's just hard to break through and get that honor. So I don't know, man, but I do. He is one of. I think he's going to end up being just one of a handful of offensive linemen to play beyond the age of like 45. I think Whitworth's 40. Hang on, I'll tell you right now. I think he's 40. Or he's 40, I think. I think he's the first, like, there's only a couple of linemen that have ever played to 40 in the NFL. And that may be the thing that gets him there, is the longevity. Let's see, great move bringing in Von Rosenberg. He's well connected, obviously, with the team. You know what, Paul, we did, and Zach's really good. I mean, he's really good on air. We did that, if you remember, with Cartwright a few years ago in baseball. And Alden, when he retired, started, like, when he blew out and then came on the show, because his career ended, like, he had been on this team. So, like, he knew all the guys. He knew the coaches. He knew, like, he had such insight because he was on that team. So it was a really good asset. So I hope the same thing with Zach here. And Zach's trying to do more. He wants to do media, and we're going to try to help him, you know, get rolling, get more active, more involved and stuff. So, you know, to a degree we can. Let's see, Rocco, big A-Train, probably one of the best to play the position. Very humble guy. So proud of him. More importantly, great ambassador for LSU if we can get linemen like him. Yeah, man. Vanica was awesome. Danny Brake, Whiskey and Wine with Zach Von Rosenberg. We'll see, man. I think, I mean, I got it set with Roe. I mean, we're rolling. We're ready to roll. Don't know what we're going to do for the UCLA game yet, though. Waiting for my my marching orders. Brown Bear 765, Matt, what crypto exchange you use to buy crypto? I use both Coinbase and Crypto.com. And I just had a great experience with Crypto.com because, so Coinbase just had a lot of really high fees. And so I was looking for other options. And Crypto.com, I had an experience where I wired a large sum of money into Crypto.com, and in so doing, there is in the fine print a small code that you have to include in the wire instructions that my fault, I did not include. And it took me I had to move heaven and earth to go through the process of finding that money and having them refund it to me so then I could transfer it and wire it back into my account. But they did. I mean, and they were not obligated. It was my mistake. So I was I had a great customer service experience with crypto.com. So anyway, I mean, I was literally DMing on Twitter the CEO of their company. I mean, I was like, I cannot lose all this money. And they helped. Tim Gotro, good morning. KC56, good morning. Will Hildebrand, Floppy Socks like Pistol Pete, good morning. Matt, good morning. Kenneth Martin, good morning, Matthew. 2 T's, Kenneth. Come on. Let's get this right. 2 T's. Good morning, Brock. Good morning, Hudco. Good morning, number 15. Good morning, Bourbon Shelf. I'm taking care of the idiot that gives you the thumbs down. Oh, he's not here yet. He's not here. We got 30 thumbs up and no thumbs downs yet. Where's the guy? Oh, no, I'm kind of bummed. I'm like, where's my thumbs down? But that did remind me, though. I moved Drew. We're getting back in the shot. All right, bud. Forgot about it. I moved him over there yesterday. I was doing if you're in New Orleans, or you'll see it on social media, I did a hit with WWL TV, talking some LSU football. So we recorded it yesterday via Zoom, and it will air today. So be on the lookout. Gulf South, good morning. So one of those podcast guys you love, sarcasm, said LSU rep told Jack Besh in the spring start catching with Johnson as early as he could because he'd be QB1 this season. Any truth? No. But I don't blame them at all for wanting to get reps. Apollo Balboa 1985. Matt, any updates on the stadium capacity situation for UCLA game? No, I think they're a full go. Kevin, the Olympics, goodbye, football. Out. Don't be a square, hit the like and share. Eric Wilderotter. Morning, Matt. With the latest report that Michael Thomas ignored calls from the Saints for 3 months, I'm worried that he's next Antonio Brown head case. Need you to talk me off the ledge. So Eric, I saw Jeff Duncan's piece. Suffice to say, I got the full Michael Thomas story when it happened. I didn't read Jeff's column, but I'm assuming that he got the same story I did. And suffice to say that I got the story from someone very, 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 very reliable. Very, 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 very reliable. Anyway, I don't think Michael Thomas is a head case. I don't think he's Antonio Brown. I don't think he's any of those things. I think he thought he could heal and avoid surgery. And he was wrong. And as a relatively young man, it's a tough lesson to learn the hard way. And it's really disappointing for the Saints, obviously. I mean, I'm not excusing his behavior. But I also, in talking to so many people in that organization, he's not a head case. He's not a bad guy. It wasn't, it's not that he got paid and doesn't love football. It's just, he made a decision that ended up being the wrong decision. And the whole team is going to suffer because of it. That's all. Damon Hinderberger, will you be doing Whiskey Wine after UCLA? I mean, the plan is to, Damon, I just don't know where and how logistically we do that. Because it would only be me. Because Roe will be in Baton Rouge. And then I'm like, all right, game ends. I'm in the stands. What would I do? Just fire up Whiskey and Wine on my phone in the stands? Maybe. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what we do. Matthew Lusto, good morning. Brett Dagro, got right. What's up, Brett? Good morning. Merrick Mathern, how much eligibility does Miles have left? So I talked about this on Friday, Merrick. Miles Brennan could end up playing 7 years if he wants. So this is year 5. Remember, he could play next year as well because everybody got a year because of COVID. And then he could theoretically, depending on how this season goes, file for a medical red shirt and get a 7th year. Brian Ashcraft, what you got planned while in Cali? We fly in on Thursday. So, go test ride on T-Bob's Peloton. Maybe I will ask him about it. I know T-Bob's big on it. So I'm flying in. I'm going with Jason Ramazan's Mr. Fun's Travel as well. Me, Hester T-Bob. And then Danny Cardenas will be our video guy on site. So we fly in Thursday. Because of the flight, I don't think we'll be able, it's a long flight, I don't think we'll be able to do AFR Thursday. Friday, OTB and AFR from LA. Saturday, pregame from LA. Locations TBD. When we have them, we will certainly announce and invite everyone who's there to come join. Thomas Lamont, good morning, Matt. Who do you think will be the leading receiver this year after Booty? I will go with Jeray Jenkins. Gulf South, you can say it. We all know you got the Michael Thomas story from Mike D. I did not, as a matter of fact. Trey Haydet. It's someone that I guarantee you don't know. And that person wants it that way. Trey Haydet, good morning. What's going on with Emery? Why was he not at practice? Word was he was taking a final. Let's see. Back over here to Facebook. What's up, y'all? Please like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. 66 watching on YouTube, 37 likes. Please smash that like button. Oh, there's our thumbs down. We got him. Yes, our thumbs down guy came through. I hope it was the actual thumbs down guy, not one of you who just decided to do thumbs down because thumbs guy down hadn't come through yet. Where are we? Gosh dog it, sorry. Richie Burt, if Drew wakes up, I'd love for him to sing happy birthday to my mama Ethel, who turned 99 yesterday. Wow, 99. God bless. Richie, I will if he gets up. He's zonked right now in bed with Erica's still in there too. So if we hear that door, it probably depends on how long we can stretch out morning scone, but that would be really cool. Let's see, Troy, Rocco, what's up, man? We all know you're sipping on Baker's Small Batch. Hold my bourbon. I'm not sipping Baker's Small Batch. Baker's is just a little hot for me, man. However, I did get a bottle of Baker's 13. And it was terrific. It really mellowed out some of the heat on the 7-year. Now, it's a unicorn, but if you ever see a Baker's 13, snag it. It's worth it. Please bring Zach Von Rosenberg for Whiskey and Wine, signed my sister. Question, why are some podcasters like 247 Sports allowed on Guarantee ESPN Radio but not Jordy? I don't understand the question. Like, I mean, you do understand what happened, right? Like, maybe you don't. Yeah. Bradley Abity, Cubs, White Sox on ABC tonight. Hopefully Dykeman plays again. It's a great point, man. I would love to. Did he? Let's see. Did they? I'm sure they played yesterday. Let me see. Did he play yesterday? No, we got the start on Friday. Got his first hit. We're going to do this live. Check on it because I did not look yesterday to see what happened with the Cubs. Boom, there they are. Boom, Cubs. All right. Cubs lost yesterday 4-0. Not that I want Dykeman to lose. I want the Cubs to lose because of my bet with Chihuili. He did not play yesterday. Yeah, it'd be great to see him back in the lineup today. It'd be awesome. But no, he did not play yesterday. That'd be great, man. See him on Sunday Night Baseball. Great point. Something else to keep an eye on. What's the deal with Nick Store's medical retirement? LSU's very thin at tight end. I mean, that's something we're not talking a lot about, but because you almost feel like you can get away with it. But with Gilbert transferring out, and then Jalen Shedd transferring, Store's medical retirement, you're just really thin there. I mean, you've got Cole Taylor. You've moved Jack Best from receiver to tight end. Aaron Moffitt is, remember, signed as a defensive lineman, but is sort of that H-back tight end role. And he supposedly is going to be healthy to play this year. Then after that, I mean, you're probably talking walk-ons, Craig Dugas. Derek Lewis looked like he just gave up last night. Couldn't get going. Didn't have a backup plan when he couldn't press the action. Didn't see the fight. I did see that Lewis lost. Probably disappointing for the peeps there in Houston that the local guy lost. For me, I always just think about Sean Jordan because I was there in New Orleans when Sean KO'd Derek Lewis with a jump spin kick to the head. And think what could have been, man. But such are the decisions we make in life. John Melanson, good morning. Brant Roban. Lost Bobby Bowden today. Dadgummit. R.I.P. Yep. Certainly condolences to his family. And ULM coach Terry Bowden. Auburn Whiskey and Wine has to be extra special 22-year anniversary of the cigar game. Why does it have to be extra special? Because it's the 22nd anniversary of the cigar game. Any different than the 20th anniversary or any other year? Why 22? Why would 22 be extra special? Shoot, I hope it's not the first time Auburn will have beaten LSU in Baton Rouge since then. And I don't think they will. I think Auburn's going to struggle this year, man. I think one of the really interesting storylines is what does Auburn's, like in the whole SEC this year, is what does Auburn's offense look like? Bo Nix clearly was not a great fit in Gus Malzahn's offense. So, Harsin brings in Mike Bobo and says, here, run your offense. Is making Bo Nix more of a traditional pocket passer going to make him more efficient? We'll see. But I do think that's a huge storyline in the SEC this year. You have a veteran quarterback running a new offense. How good can they be? I don't know. You do have a great running back with Tank Bigsby. Anyway. Let's see. Scone and T-Bob in Los Angeles sounds like the Hangover 4. Ben Giat, does HUDCO cover Thibodeau? Yes, absolutely. Give us a shout. Ben, you can email me directly if you like, matt@hudcoroofing.com, matt@hudcoroofing.com. Let's see. One team, one podcast, bros, with the daily thumbs down. I don't know who it is doing it. Will you be watching the UCLA game in the stands as a fan, Matt, or working, Matt? I will be in the stands. I'll have a ticket, so I'll go on a ticket. I'm not planning to go on a credential anyway. I'm planning to go sit and probably sit with Russ Mitchell and his family, so it'll be fun. Let's see, Roy Oswald inducted into the Astros Hall of Fame last night. I was in attendance, much deserving. Yeah, man, Oswald was a great player. I just don't really care about the Astros. No disrespect or anything. I just don't Auburn since I guess don't like Auburn since '99 that game. So funny story about that game. LSU played Auburn on that Saturday in 1999, and that was my senior year at Catholic, and we played Shaw that day. And like some some of you may know, like the Catholic League in New Orleans, like because there aren't enough stadiums, they play some teams play on Friday, some teams play on Saturday. So we went down to Haas Memphis and played that game on a Saturday afternoon against Shaw and Chiron Carey. We scored on every possession in the first half, and then Greg Skidmore returned the second half kickoff for a touchdown, and they said he stepped out of bounds in front of the Shaw bench, which was horse poop. And we ended up actually losing the game. Hey, babe, is he awake? Yeah. We ended up losing the game. I forget the final score. It might have been something like 28-27, or something like that. That's one of those where you feel like you're in total control, and then you look up at the end of the game and you lost, and you're like, what the hell just happened? Anyway, so we bust back to Baton Rouge, and then get in the car, shower or whatever, change, get in the car to go home and turn on the radio because LSU was playing Auburn that day. And it's like 44-9. I'm like, what the hell what just happened? Ooh, that game. Not a great day. Not a great football day for the Scones. Let's see, Apollo Balboa in 1985. Matt, do you see any weaknesses on this Alabama team? No. I don't want to talk about Alabama ever. I mean, you just have to beat them. Maybe as the season plays out, maybe the quarterback's not going to be any good. Maybe they won't find a running back among their stable of 5 stars. Maybe their 5-star receivers won't be able to catch. Maybe their 5-star cornerbacks will just fall down all the time. But I don't want to talk about them, man. There's few certainties in life, and Bama football with Saban there is just going to be one of them. Let's see, Quay 14 Thomas. Not sports related, that's okay. But how often do you shave your head? I'm new to the bald-headed fam. So I have good question. I have a device called the Palm. Oh, what's it called? Hang on, I'll show you. I've done this before. I'll show you. Just sit tight. Sit tight. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. This thing. So it's called I thought it was like the Palm. It's Palm is the. I don't know if you can see the logo right there. Palm. I can't remember. It's or maybe it's like Skull Shaver. That's what it's called, Skull Shaver. And so you just push the button on it and you just do this. So just touch it up every day, I won't make y'all listen to that the whole time. So. But that's super easy. Now I'm going to have to finish because otherwise I'm just going to be thin here and then a little dark over there. Yeah, but check this out. Erica gave me this as a gift. And it's fantastic. It works really well. Will Hildebrand, is Michael Thomas the Saints' version of Kawhi on the Clippers, and the lack of medical info shared hurts his team? No, it's not a lack of medical info shared. That's not the, and if I'm not mistaken, that was that was his deal with the Spurs, right? No, it's really not that. I mean, it's really not. I mean, it's as simple as they had their exit meetings. They put him in a boot, and it was like, all right, come back in a month, and we'll look at it and see if we need surgery. And he didn't come back in a month to see if we need surgery. He didn't come back until it was mandatory for them to report for the mandatory mini camp. And when he came back and they looked at him, he tried to cut. I mean, he was out there practicing, and it was just nagging him a little. They looked at it and said, "No, I got to get this thing fixed." UFC 265 last night was good. Gain is a problem in the heavyweight division. Athletic for anyone? Nah, bro. Come on, man. First of all, I mean, okay, I'm with you. Hang on, sorry, 1 second. Okay, so I'm with you on Gain being athletic, and sometimes they're just different when they're big guys that can actually move and have some athleticism. But like Francis Ngannou is just cut from a different cloth. They just did Francis wrong by having this interim title fight. Like, I'm okay with Francis not wanting to take a fight on short notice. Like, anyway, they did him wrong. But I'll look forward to watching that fight. Francis against Gain, it'll be fun. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Kenneth Martin, this is for the thumbs down guy. Shot the bird. I love how it bothers you more than it does me. But I respect Kenneth. Thank you for having my back. Jake Return, good morning. Drew Nicholas, Elijah Craig, or 1792. It depends what release. I'd probably go Elijah Craig on most any of them. But like Elijah Craig and 1792 both have a full proof. Elijah Craig has the toasted barrel, which I think is, of any of them, my favorite. I really like 1792 bottled in bond. Both have a small batch. 1792 12 years, magnificent. So there's a lot of different ones. It just kind of depends which release you're going for. Eric Wilderauer, counterintuitive. Do you think we roll the pocket, run Max more to actually protect him? I feel like it might be more of a sitting duck, just sitting in the pocket, i.e. Burrow, Bengals last year. Yeah, I mean, I think more what you do, Eric, is, yes, you can absolutely move the pocket, but you could also shotgun, 3-step drop, get rid of the football, Tim Gotro, have you and Roe considered using Zoom calls with guests for whiskey and wine like you do with baseball compatriots? Not really, Tim, because that's not really the format of the show. And then also being at Don Juan, it might make that a little tricky. Murder Giraffe, good morning. R.I.P. Trevor Moore. R.I.P. Trevor Moore. I gotta look up who Trevor Moore is. Comedian Trevor Moore, whitest kids you know, co-founder, dead at 41. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is, but condolences to his family. DC Vlogs, LSU, good morning. Matthew Pittman, that's how we felt playing Catholic in 2002. We sacked the quarterback to seal the game. The refs called excessive celebration to put them in field goal range. Broadmoor to this day, worst call ever. Broadmoor. Worst call ever. Well, I'll disagree on the worst call ever. Having called high school football games for 8 seasons, I could tell you that an excessive celebration call would not be the worst call ever. I literally have video of an official so there's a play. High school officiating is awful, y'all. They're just so bad. Oh, it's so bad. The side judge, so it's like a goal line play, okay? So Catholic has the ball like at the 1. I forgot who they're playing. I think it was a playoff game. Might have been like against Brother Martin or something. But Catholic's got the ball at the 1, and the side judge is like standing on the goal line, right? Looking down the goal line. Looking down the goal line to watch play. Well, so like, all right, I'm the side judge, and I'm looking right down the goal line. Well, he turns to his left, and there's like some ball boys or something over here, and he's doing this, like, hey, like turn and like back up, whatever. Well, while he's turned, they run the play. The running back, like, half his torso is over the goal line. I mean, it's a touchdown. It's the clearest thing in the world. But the side judge, who's responsible for making this call, is doing this. And so then he turns and he sees the scrum, and so he just starts like running in, and he goes like he can't decide if it's touchdown or he's down. He's down. So he's doing this like with his hands, and then just goes like he's down. I'm like, oh my God, he didn't even see the play. They scored on the next play, so it alleviated the pain a little bit. But it's like they're terrible. Like high school officials are just all, God bless them. They don't try to be bad. They're just, there's a reason they're high school officials. Anyway. Thomas Lamont, electric shaver daily is the way to go. Been doing it for 2 years now. Matthew Lusso, don't know if you follow Jermaine Funny Maine Johnson, but he asked Facebook what people's favorite Bama memory is. I responded, Kick 6. What's yours? I don't know who that is. E-Rock secretly supports the baldness. I don't think she secretly supports it. I think she's just conceded. I'll put it to you that way. She conceded that it's going to happen. He knew he meased up and hid like a kid. Tim Gocho, 1988, Friday, lost my last high school football game I ever played in overtime regional playoffs. Next night, sat in Tiger Stadium as Miami drilled us in the rain. Worst football weekend ever. That would be a bad one. Will Hildebrand, new and miss. Will. I don't know what you're talking about there, Will. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just a little behind on the comments. Knew he messed up and hid like a kid. I just don't know which one you're talking about. Sorry. Are you talking about Mike Thomas? No, that's not it. That's not. Because at that point, he was just, like, Michael Thomas showed up for the mandatory minicamp thinking he was 100%. Like, he was practicing. But until you get out there and you actually do it at full speed, you don't really know. And it turned out not to be great. Please smash that like button there on YouTube. Oh, that 55 likes. I love it. 66 watching. If you haven't hit that like yet, please smash the like button. If you're on Facebook, please like the page, share the post. As always, shout out to Brock and Hudco. You need northeast, see Brock. You need a roof, call Hudco. Carly Cat. Saw Bobby Bowden die. Great coach. Went to the national championship against Virginia Tech. Great moment for him, no doubt. Remember that game. Boy, Mike Vick was something. Ben Giat rolled over to YouTube and smashed like. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that. Kevin Neely, RIP Coach Bowden, one of the first interviews I lined up for Condon. How about that? Back in the day. Oakwood Comet Sports, looking forward to seeing Adrian Saravo as an LSU Tiger strong JUCO pitcher. Okay, good to know. So he's committed or going to be? I'll look him up. Dwayne Official, hearing some great stuff from LSU camp. Well, it's 2 days of practice, and they're not even wearing pads yet. But usually you hear good things at this point, yes. Skip Berman line about umps and hold the rope really hits home. Read high school officials. I don't remember the Skip Berman line and hold the rope. Remind me what it is. Better chance at making the playoffs, Saints or LSU? Saints. Because you got to keep in mind, like, you got to keep in mind, 7 teams will make the playoffs in the NFC. The Saints can be 9-8, which I think is a pretty good probability, and still get in. Only 4 teams make the playoff in college football. As much like as LSU fans are hyped and want to believe their team is going to be a playoff team, like Vegas has LSU over under 8.5. It's not to say that they're never wrong, but that's completely unemotional, right? I mean, that's based on, all of their metrics that allow them to big, giant palatial buildings in the desert. And I think they go over 8.5. I think they're at 9. But 9 is a far, far away from getting into the playoff. Paul Batts, did Catholic play Karen Crow during the Kevin Falk years? They did, actually. Catholic eliminated Kevin Falk's Karen Crow team his senior year from the playoffs. Catholic went to Karen Crow to play a first-round game and beat him. Falk was the quarterback. And then the next week, Catholic went to Washita and played Jamie Spencer in Washita and got pounded. Jamie Spencer was a man. He was a man. Played Notre Dame when Notre Dame was still good. And not fake good like they are now. Tony Williams, I think we beat Bama this year. Tony Williams, I think you're high. Paul Batts, second the motion on never talking about Bama. The Gumps do enough of it. Let's see. Scone can pull off the Kojak look, the bald Italian. I don't know Kojak, but I am bald. What do y'all think? Yeah, I like it. We like it. Mark Vatanovich. Pell should have kept Lonzo Ball. Well, Mark, my point with Lonzo is that if you were going to trade Lonzo, you should have traded him at the deadline when you could actually got something for him. Anyway. Jonathan Martin, what's up? Jason Souls, 88 Miami in the rain. I was 10, worst experience in Tiger Stadium. I was there. I was the kid. I don't really remember the game. I do remember sitting in the rain. What's your best and worst experience in Tiger Stadium? Okay. Worst might be 94 Southern Miss. Because not only did LSU lose the game to Southern Miss, but I also had diarrhea. And excuse me if you're eating your breakfast, but it's not super fun waiting in Tiger Stadium bathroom lines and then having to, go in Tiger Stadium. So for my physical feeling and the game itself, that would probably be the worst. Best, 01 Auburn was just awesome because they clinched to go to Atlanta for the first time. And, I mean, LSU's been so many times now that you forget, but there was actually a time where Atlanta felt like forbidden ground, like LSU could never get there. And so when they finally broke through and got there in 01, it was just euphoric, man. I mean, rushed the field, I got pepper sprayed by a cop, ripped some dirt from the eye of the tiger right at midfield. I still have it in a jar over here on my shelf. Probably that. There's been so many great ones, man. There weren't a lot of great memories as a kid, though, just because the teams were so bad. But man, in the last 20 years, there's been a lot of great ones. Let's see. Sydney Bonnet, you don't know Kojak? Don't know Kojak. Sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. I just don't know Kojak. Only game my grandfather left early in his life. Oh, the Miami game. I was at 94 Southern Miss also. Curly Hallman waving goodbye on the Hart season ticket. No kidding, was it? I don't remember that, but fitting. Very fitting. Let's see, back over to YouTube. Thanks everybody for hanging out. 70 watching on YouTube, 60 thumbs up. Appreciate that. Still 38 on Facebook. Interesting how we've kind of flipped to more live concurrent viewers on YouTube than on Facebook. But I'm interested in that. But thanks to everybody for watching. I think maybe YouTube as a video experience might just be better for peeps. But either way, thanks for watching. However you're here on Facebook or YouTube, I'm very grateful. Let's see, Brett, lost to Redemptors in 2002 on Thanksgiving weekend in my high school career. Listened on the bus to Arkansas, Matt Jones. That was Matt Jones to Decory, Birmingham, the Miracle on Markham, and I was at the Miracle on Markham, and my dad was working at Lamar at the time, and Lamar had an office up there, and we ended up getting like box seats. If you ever went to Old War Memorial Stadium, the first like 4 rows behind the bench are blue chairback seats from like goal line to goal line, and we were like in the second row. I mean, we were right there. And we were like at the 5-yard line, right in that end zone where Decory, we were all in the Arkansas people, but right where Decory Birmingham caught that pass. And things I remember about that game, Skylar Green had a long, and that was when Skylar Green was wearing like number 81 or 86 or whatever, because he switched to 5 the next year, but he was, as a freshman, he was 81 or 86. Skylar had a long catch and run touchdown in that ball game. And I think Matt Jones had completed like 2 passes the whole game. And then he ended up completing 3 passes on that drive. Or maybe he had 4 completions the whole game and then completed 3 on that drive, whatever. But as soon as Decory Birmingham caught that pass, man, there were these little kids, I mean, they could have been but 10 years old, these Arkansas fans that ran in front of us, and they're like shooting the bird at us. And it was me, my cousin Steven, and my buddy Ben, the 3 of us. And oh boy, I've never been treated so badly in my life as in Little Rock at War Memorial Stadium. Awful. What a poo hole. Absolute worst SEC experience possible. Playing a game in a glorified high school stadium on a golf course with no bathrooms, no concession stands, awful sightlines, 50,000 people. It's awful. Like Vanderbilt is better. Ugh. ASCII Rock, who wins in a UFC match, Malky or Tarina? We could probably get some ASCII Rock if y'all are down for it. Let me know if you're down for a little ASCII Rock. You gotta let me know. Murder Giraffe. Does Cincinnati ever sniff the playoff as long as there's a 4-team system? No. There's no group of 5 that will ever. Look, I mean, Cincinnati last year, UCF is an undefeated team, Boise State, like, no group of 5 is ever going to get into this format. I mean, the only way that they'd have a chance is if they schedule their entire non-conference against Power 5 and beat them all. It's the only chance. Like, you would have to schedule 4 non-conference games against Power 5 opponents, beat them all, run roughshod through your schedule, and then maybe you'd have a chance. But until that happens, it'll never happen. Let's see, wonder what the LSU over-under was when they won it all. I want to say in 2019, they were maybe at 10 or 10.5. Let me see. LSU 2019 projected win total. Let's see. In July of that year, BetOnline had their over-under at 9. There's some hope for you. Let's see. Bama was at 11 that year. Georgia was at 10.5. Florida at 9. LSU at 9. Auburn at 8. State at 8. Texas A&M 7.5. Yep. LSU was at 9 that year, so. Where are we? Bald Mayhem Santana. Bald-headed scallywag. I actually like the sound of that. Matthew Lusso, are you aware of what's going on with the tampering allegations around the Lonzo trade? I am not. Drew Nicholas, will Pete's be in the booth or on the field calling plays? Do you think it makes a difference? Why aren't we hearing much about Andre Anthony at defensive end? Or is that supposed to be understood he's starting? Yeah, I think Anthony and Gay are your starters. I think BJ Ojolari obviously rotates in. As far as Pete's on the field or in the booth, my assumption is that Jake Pete's is going to be in the booth. I can't imagine an offensive play caller that's not the head coach being on the field. So I'm going to assume Jake Pete's is going to be in the booth. I don't think it makes a difference as long as you have somebody on the field that you trust can communicate with the quarterbacks. And my assumption is that will be George Munoz, because that's what George did in 2019. I think you just fall right back into those roles. You will have Pete's, Mangus in the booth, Munoz on the field. Scott and Amanda Harrington. YouTube app lets me keep you going in the background, still use my phone, premium subscriber. Got it. I probably need to do that. Do you think Coastal Carolina will be good this year? Do you have to define good? I can't sit here and tell you I know a ton about their roster and what they have coming back. Do I think that Coastal Carolina is going to be the group of 5 team that's there at the end of the year complaining about the playoff? No, I don't. Let's order the rings now. Matt, who plays in the Super Bowl this year? If I knew that, I'd go make a bet on it right now. I guess until proven otherwise in the AFC, I'd go KC. I don't think Tampa repeats as NFC champion. There's this part of me that always just defaults and says, "Oh, Green Bay because of Aaron." I mean, look, they were the 1 seed last year, hosting the NFC Championship game. But he's a guy that's also won 1 NFC Championship in his career. At some point, we can look at the talent, the skill, and all that stuff, and still say the results are, man, you've been to 1 Super Bowl, and it was 11 years ago. Maybe I'm just trying to convince myself of a reason to pick someone other than Tampa. I do think the Rams with Matthew Stafford are massively intriguing. I don't know that they win the NFC, but I think they're intriguing. And I'm curious also with Seattle, man. I mean, a playoff team from a year ago, and if they really ironed out the issues with Russ and Pete Carroll in the front office, Seattle and Russ are always a threat. I think you're just more wide open in the NFC. Brady and the Bucs last year weren't a dominant team. They made it happen in the playoffs. They beat New Orleans. We all know how that game unfolded. Then they went to Green Bay, and I think Brady threw 3 picks in that game, and they still won the game. A couple of boneheaded coaching decisions by Green Bay, kicking the field goal at the end of the game. And then Tom Brady was in a winner-take-all game in the Super Bowl, and he's the best ever at it. So, I don't know. Cliff, Dallas Cowboys. Cliff, Dallas ain't going to playoffs, bro. Dallas is trash. Freaking Cowboys. That's such a trash organization, bro. Until Jerry Jones dies, and I get it, dude. I've seen it. I saw it with Steinbrenner, the Yankees. You're just never going to compete. It's just... I ain't trying to needle you, Cliff, but it's just a trash organization, man. You got an owner that is so desperate for credit that he can't even see the shortcomings, which are him. He can't bring in a player personnel guy to run the organization. He'd rather get credit than win, which is just stupid. And they'll never win as long as Jerry's there. It's sad, bro. Dude, it is. Like, I mean, when you think about how that ended with him and Jimmy Johnson, like, it's just ego, bro. The thing that made him a billionaire in business, one of the most successful businessmen in the world, he can't even recognize that shortcoming in him in running a football team. It's crazy. It's like, bro, the problem is you. It's not all the coaches that you rotate. It's you. You're the problem. Driving back to NOLA after a night at Fred's with the old gang, bets happened. Better schedule at the end of the season, Saints or Cowgirls? Better schedule or better record? That's interesting, Brett. Dallas misses the playoffs, fires McCarthy, hires Joe Brady. I'm blue booking it. I do think Carolina is fascinating this year because you have a lot on the line. Well, here's what I mean when I say a lot on the line. Let me rephrase that because that's not the right way to say it. There are a lot of theories that are either going to be proven or disproved this year. Like, was Darnold's issues in New York the Jets? Or is he just not a good NFL quarterback? Well, you're kind of going to get that answer this year. Is Joe Brady really an elite offensive mind and play caller? Well, last year you had Teddy, who then got injured, and like now you got a former top 5 overall pick who physically, the same stuff with Jameis, right? Like physically he's good enough to be top 5 pick in the draft. You're like, but can you maximize him? Now the interesting thing is, remember, Joe Brady ain't the quarterback guru. Joe Brady didn't work with quarterbacks at LSU. Joe Brady worked with receivers. Steve Ensminger and George Munoz worked with quarterbacks at LSU. So who is the quarterback guru in Carolina? I don't know. I really don't even know who their quarterback coach is. But, Carolina is interesting for that reason. If they have a big year and Darnold has a big year, then absolutely I could see Joe Brady being a head coach next year. Gotcha. So better record is the Saints or the Cowboys. Boy, I think they're right. I think they're neck and neck. Give me, I'll take the Saints with a better record. I think the Saints are, before Mike Thomas and David Onyemata, all this stuff, I had the Saints at 10-7. Now I'm more, I think they're a 9-8 football team. And I hope they keep their head above 500. And I'm hoping 9-8 is enough to get them in the playoffs. Dallas is going to be better than they were last year. They just have to be when you're healthier and you get your starting quarterback back, and they're going to be better. But I think they're a nose below 500. I think they're in that 7-8 win range this year, which would double what they did a year ago. But I'm not sold on their roster. I'm not sold on McCarthy. But I don't think there's a ton separating. Let's see. Matthew Lusto, wife just heard Night at Fred's and said, "Oh God," had reminded her of your demo. Safe to say Fred's generally isn't on her homecoming tour. Had to remind her of your demographic. Got it. Dude, I spent a lot of nights in Fred's, man. Most people did, I think. Oh gosh, let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get back to some of these Facebook. Oh gosh. 99 Houston was bad. Oh God, I was there too. They fired Denardo 2 days later. Oh no, I wasn't at 99. I was at 96 Houston. '94 Southern Miss game was the low point of LSU football modern era. My senior year at Barb, 46,000 actual attendance. I wish I had the runs. Hey, Dan Warstell. What's up, Dan? Good morning. Little Rock's War Memorial is a dump, but a loud dump. It's just a dump. Jason Souls War Memorial Stadium is a dump. Parked on the 18th fairway on a golf course next to the stadium in an ice storm and froze. Oh, God. And the worst part is when the game would end, it's like dusk. And so you're trying to find your car on a golf course in the dark. And there's no lights. There's no lights on golf courses. Brutal. Tony Williams, what about Jarrell Cherry? Coming off a torn ACL, right? And wasn't it an ACL? So haven't heard much about him. Just, injured, coming off that injury. Ole Miss 95 the week after LSU beat Florida. Okay, that was 97. Not 95. 97 is when they beat Florida and then played Ole Miss the next week. That was a brutal day. LSU had gone all the way up to number 8 in the country after beating Florida. My dad and I went to that game. We sat in the first row. We bought tickets from a scalper. Sat in the first row of the end zone opposite the LSU tunnel. So we were in the south end zone, like first row, like splitting the uprights. And was that Romero Miller? Was that Romero Miller from Ole Miss, the quarterback? Just a brutal day. That was terrible. Whipping Arkansas at the end of the 99 season was glorious. Hal Hunter was the interim coach. Yep, that was Rohan got to start that day. 49ers will be a playoff team this season. Tony, I could get down with that. I think the Niners, you go from being the NFC champions and just a couple minutes away from winning a Super Bowl to all the injuries they had a year ago. If they're healthy again this year, yeah, I think they're a playoff team. I remember Chad Luke fumbling a 4th and goal snap on the first drive of the game. LSU lost to Arkansas under Curley and got kept out of the Blockbuster Bowl. I thought that was if I'm not mistaken, I thought they were trying to go to the CarQuest Bowl. Was it the Blockbuster Bowl? That was the CarQuest Bowl. That was 93. That was the year the pigs flew, right? They lost to Arkansas at home that day. And then 94 was a disaster, and then they fired him. Brought DiNardo in, they went to the Independence Bowl in 95. Jerry Jones is the anchor to why the Cowboys ship will never sail. Very nice metaphor. Carly Cat, he waits the Hall of Fame weekend to put him in the Ring of Honor. Always got to have attention put on him. Cliff Nelson, with a healthy Dak Prescott, Dallas easily has one of the best offenses this side of Kansas City. With a decent defense, they win the division, get to the playoffs. Even Jerry can't mess that up. Want to bet? Can't wait to get to Sazerac House for Saints Cowboys. I'm going to love watching the Saints fan base be sad. Now, Cliff, I don't know if you can watch the game there. Okay, we're doing AFR from there, but what has not been determined yet is if they're going to allow, whoever wins the contest is going to get to watch the game upstairs like we did last year. But I don't know if they're going to allow more people in to watch the game on top of just the people that win the sweepstakes. So, but AFR from Sazerac House, that Thursday of Saints Cowboys. Y'all mark it down, make plans to be there. Comeback player of the year, Burrow or Dak? Probably Dak, more likely, because Burrow played 10 games. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're done, y'all. Any more? Hey, Patrick Kimmery, good morning. CarQuest Bowl. It was CarQuest Bowl, wasn't it? Tony Williams, Jerry. Oh, I read that one. All right, y'all. I think we're done. All right, shout out. Well, how long have we been on here? Hour and 15 minutes. Shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. As always, after hours clinic open on weekends. And remember, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. If you need a roof replacement, or just look up at your roof. If it looks awful, let's come take a look at it. Free, no obligation roofing inspections. Doesn't cost you anything. We just schedule and inspector to come to your house, hop on. You don't have to be home. No one has to come in your house. Just hop up on the roof and take a look and take some pictures. And if we spot damage, we'll help you file a claim and get your roof repaired or replaced. Hudco Roofing. All right, y'all. Have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. As always, y'all have a great, 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 great Sunday. What's up, Clifford Moore? Here just in time to see us go. All right, y'all have an awesome Sunday. We'll see you. Peace.